What's going on, everybody? This is ODC, that's me, and I'm back with another action figure review. This is my review of the DC Collectibles Designer Series Greg Capullo Nightwing figure. I picked this guy up at a local comic shop in Columbus, Ohio, when I took a trip down there a couple weeks ago, and yeah, he looks really good. I was kind of on the fence if I was going to pick this guy up, but I knew that he was the better of the two coming out of the Nightwing figures. I know there's the regular, this is the Capullo version, and the other version is just the, I believe, the Jim Lee version of Nightwing. And that Nightwing looks a little bit weird. His nose looks, I don't know, like a beak. I don't know. I'm just not a big fan of the way that looks. Maybe it'll look better in hand, but I don't know. I'm going to probably pass on that and stick with this guy. I'm a really big fan of this Capullo series. I just like that they actually took an artist's design and just transformed it right into figure form. I think that I can really dig that. Even though, you know, I mean, some people are saying, oh, the faces look weird. Well, yeah, the faces look... Maybe you think the faces look weird because this is the artist rendering in figure form. I mean, if you weren't a big fan of the way Greg Capullo did his art, then you're probably not going to like the figure either. I like his artwork. I think it's very nice. I feel like when you see a certain artist drawing or the way they illustrate a character, I like to see that they put their own little touches on it, so you can really just point them out of a crowd. Like when you see Jim Lee's art, you know it's Jim Lee. When you see Greg Capullo's art, you know it's Greg Capullo. And so I like it. I actually really like his artwork. So with that being said, anyway, this figure was very nicely done, and you know, there were some issues with it that I've seen in past reviews. I believe Rob from Rob's Rogues pointed out that he had leg issues. Mine has the same issues, but there's nothing else wrong with him really. He stands nicely. I don't have any problems with any loose joints, breaking problems or anything like that. No paint application issues or anything like that. The face is done very nicely. It would have been nice if they just would have included like a holster on his back for his Screama sticks, but overall I think he's a very nicely done figure. Let me just set him aside real quick. I'll show you the packaging, get that out of the way real quick. He just comes in this nice designer series packaging, window display, says Nightwing on the side. On the back, the other figures in the wave are, and if you don't know, Batman, Talon. Actually, I'm gonna pick. I just bought 2 more Talon figures, so I'm kind of got a Talon assassin display going that I'm working on. So Talon is a huge one. Nightwing and the Riddler. So there you go with that. Just set that aside, and let's bring the figure back in here. His Screama sticks fit in his hands very nicely. There's no real big. They're basically just a piece of solid black plastic. They don't have handles on them or anything like that. They're just pretty basic. But I think it works. I mean, I guess you could put a little bit more tech on them like they did with the Arkham series, but overall it doesn't matter. A Screama stick is a stick is a stick, if you know what I mean. Just like Freud said, sometimes a hot dog is just a hot dog. Anyway, but setting him back here, he does stand nicely. I don't have any problems with loose joints, which was a kind of a problem with the Talon figure. But I feel like it's really hit or miss with some of these figures, and I'm glad I decided to pick him up. I was kind of on the fence, and Rob kind of actually was like, "Yeah, you should do it. He's a good figure." And I was like, "Even with the issues?" He's like, "Yeah, dude. I don't regret buying it at all." And I was like, "Okay, sold." So. And I'm glad I listened to him and I picked it up. So, as far as his articulation goes, his head does move side to side. It can do a full 360. His head doesn't really move up at all, though. Just kind of eye level. It does look down. It is on a ball peg. It's a clear ball peg, by the way. His head does do the nice tilt effect, more so towards his right, which would be over here. a little bit towards his left, but I feel like you get more of a range of motion going towards his right. His arms do move up about that far, and they move down. Don't force it with these guys. They still have clear pegs going across here and across here. So don't force it. That's about as far up as it goes. It goes down, and it can do a full 360 if you want it to. It does have a bicep swivel, a single bend at the elbow. He does have a glove swivel, which is there. Mine's just a little bit tight. And he does have a wrist swivel and a wrist hinge, so that's nice. It does have an ab crunch. It doesn't have really the best range of motion. That's about as far back as it goes, and then it goes forward about that far, so more so forward than back. It does have a waist swivel, which is mine is very stiff. Got really nice stiff joints on him. I mean, it'll loosen over time, but nothing to worry about. His splits go out about that far. Now, not the best range of motion with the splits, but you really don't want to force it with these guys because they, like I said, again, clear plastic. You don't want to mess with it. Like I said, now here's the issue with the legs. They go forward both at the same time, and this is only with this figure that I've seen thus far that has done this. I believe, oh actually I take that back. My Talon figure started doing that, but his legs move individually. But this is the weird part. His legs both move forward, but then you can individually move them forward and back. So it's very odd. So they move out, and they do move forward, and they do move back. Upper thigh swivel, double jointed knees. They are there. No boot swivel that I can see. He does have an ankle swivel. And I don't believe he has that. No ankle pivot, just an ankle hinge and an ankle swivel. But you can get this guy into nice poses, and I think he does look good. A lot of people really do prefer the blue with Nightwing, but I really have grown to like this red. I feel like Robin, red, you kind of keep that. I know Nightwing's supposed to be his own guy, and he broke away from Batman to be his own guy, and kind of took on the blue. But I think the red works really well because you have Nightwing wearing red, you have Red Hood with a red hood, you have your Robin, which I'll just go back to Damian. I know he's dead now, but you have Damian as Robin, and then you have Red Robin. So it's like red, and all the old previous Robins should have red in them, I think. I think it looks good. As far as detailing goes, let me just set him straight here. Face sculpt looks really good. Like I said, this is supposed to be Greg Capullo's art in figure form, so that's what they were going for with this series. That's the reason why he looks the way he looks. But I also like this nice armored look going around his back and kind of up on his neck, kind of protecting his neck a little. Protect your neck! So that does look good. The Nightwing symbol is sculpted in, so that's very nice. It's not raised, but it is sculpted. It's also sculpted going down his forearm and his bicep. His gauntlets are sculpted as well on both sides, as are his knee pads and boots. Some nice sculpted lines in there, and he does have one peg hole at the bottom of his foot. It's on his right foot. So yeah, I mean, I think this figure is a really nice, solid figure, and I'm kind of mad that I didn't pick him up right away. Now that I have him, I just think he looks very nicely done. And yeah, like I said, I'm just going to keep repeating myself if I keep going on. But like I said, nice sculpting, nice paint applications. I don't have any problems with his, QC issues with him, except for that weird leg movement going forward. But you can still move the legs individually if you want, so don't be too afraid of that. He's got his nice sculpted knuckle dusters on there. I also wanted to add that in. So yeah, definitely a great figure. I would definitely give this 2 thumbs up. I like this figure a lot. As for a size comparison, I'll just go with what we all know here, the Greg Capullo Batman. He's not necessarily taller than Batman. I kind of have Batman in this like a bent knee pose, so they're around the same height. Yes, Batman should be probably around here when it comes to Dick Grayson, but you know, I'm not too picky with that. I think they look good together, and yeah, I look forward to the rest of the figures coming out the line. I look forward to Batgirl. Batgirl looks much better than her. They, I believe at San Diego Comic-Con, they just released more images of her, and she looks much better than her first look. I believe it was the prototype look. But there's also going to be a James Gordon, or a Jim Gordon, excuse me. Jim Gordon coming out. Oh, James Gordon. Jim Gordon's coming out. I believe... What else was coming out? I can't remember them all. But yeah, definitely I'm a big fan of this line. I'm going to keep collecting this line as much as possible. I might skip the Riddler. I don't know, depending on what we get, what more we get. But I'm probably just going to stick with the heroes in the Bat family for this line. So with that being said, and hopefully maybe we'll get a Calvin Rose Talon. That would be amazing. But as far as this right here, I just want to say, definitely, like I said, 2 thumbs up. Go get him. Do yourself a favor. He's a really nice Nightwing figure. A really nice figure overall. Sorry I'm keep going on and on talking, but that's kind of the point of the review. So yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Thank you for watching as always, and I will see you guys on the flip side.